Now, the depth definitely won't confirm this, but this image looks very AI generated. You can see right away the glossy textures and the weird lining thing. It feels like the depth just dropped an AI art straight away from the generator without much anything. If you want some proof, I will break down some of the image for you. Like this one have a great lighting, but it has some weird shadowing. So the gen look very good lighting, but the shadow is completely off. The gen has some hole, but the shadow is like a straight line. That doesn't make any sense. Next is the woman who I suppose posing in the position of 19th fashion have a default color. If you know, most artists using color with a lower hue and saturation to make their art easier to see for the viewer and to them. Also, the lighting on her face is non-existent. It looks flat. This doesn't make sense to the other part because the other part have great lighting, but the face is nothing else. And there's a fireman if you want to say so. This right here is just a little bit odd. Most artists want their target, usually woman, to be the main target in the whole pictures. And if you compare this to the woman pic, you can clearly see that this is not the case here. In this fire image, I can see that the man is the target, but the flame bird behind him becomes the first thing I see. And from what I see, the flame bird is a main source of lighting. This making a man face appear near black and have some small highlight on it. But as you can see, the highlight on his chin is a bit too big. And if that's the case, then where's the highlight on the other part? The other part just completely black, or just barely any color on it. While the chin is the only place with the most recognizable highlight, but the other part barely have any. Like I can go on and on to explain most of the picture is AI generated, but here is the thing, I'm not against using AI. Tools like ChatGPT is great for information gathering and brainstorm ideas, but you're making a game, especially this one is quite popular. Just posting in what like an AI art straight up from the generator is just lazy. The gameplay of Hypershot feels less like an FPS and more like a typical Roblox simulator game for me. The loop is simple, the more you play, the more reward you will get, and with those currency or reward, you can buy a new gun or gamble for a flashy new skin. It's a simulation game on Roblox, but the only difference is your progress is safe. And from my own experiment, when you die you don't just respawn instantly, you often get some of this level screen, a spin, or even some big flashy bundle ad. I have run into it multiple times. And the other problem is the weapon system. It's just very straightforward. There's no real debate of which one is better or not. Setting up can make a gun better like Phantom Force, but in Hypershot it doesn't really matter because the more expensive the gun, the stronger it is. For example, there's a gun in the rifle section called the plasma rifle, can deal up to 200 damage headshot, and it basically eradicates anyone on your path. While most of the other rifles just sitting around 100, it just completely outshines everything from fire rate, damage output. So the question arises is that why don't you just save that money to just buy a plasma rifle? And I do agree there's some overpriced stuff like the unicorn gun which costs 30,000 gems, but it isn't that great. Still, in most categories there's a best pick of every of them. For now, most people can just buy the sniper version of this because it's the cheapest in all of the things. Not really, but it's very powerful. But I can guarantee that in just around half a year, most players will have a plasma rifle and the game at that stage is basically unplayable. I mean, at the end of the day, Hypershot plays like a typical Roblox simulation. The longer you play or you grind whatever, the more firepower you will get. There's not meaningful balance here. Like there's no, this gun is good if you can hit your shot type, or this gun is work because it's in a specific situation. It just saves your money and buy when you have enough. Based on my own gameplay experiment, I started noticing what I believe are test bots. They are players that don't show up at the escape menu but appear on the in-game tab list. They are most listed with the PC input while controller and mobile players don't appear this way this much, so I don't think they are bot. The server limit said that 17 players, which is kinda odd. Why not 16 or 18? But whatever. Anyway, when you actually play the game, you can feel like it holding more than 20 players. And if you're holding tab and carefully counting the dual players, then compare that to the escape menu, you will notice some mismatching. Since this account never show in the escape player list, I suspect that the rest of the players that don't have a dual are bot generated by in-game script system. This is just a theory, but it makes more sense since the server feel more active, which can keep the kid engaged and making the game look more popular than it is. There are a couple of reasons why I don't like the spawning bot. The first is an unfair advantage. The team got the bot gonna get spawn camped like a lot, and most of the time you either win easily or just lost badly. This reminds me of the game Marvel Rival. The game both me and my friend quit because of the bot issues. One game is so easy you barely need to do anything and they are just trapped at the base. Second is the unsatisfying kill. The bot is scripted, which making them a free kills. It rewards you for barely doing anything. It feels like the devs benefit a lot from this since the server look more active. The kids stay active. Roblox platform contain mostly kids, so by making the server feel more active, younger players are most likely to stay. More players mean even more players are gonna join, because that's how Roblox system works. The game with higher player base will appear more in the player screen, so making the server active as much as possible to push engagement from a little kid, which gonna bring even more players over time, will make the game pop up in some home screen of many players. This gonna make the game become more popular and making the dev make more money. Even though this is the end of the video, but I want to point out something. First of all, it's a spawn camp solution. This is the result of bad design that instant revive utility in weapon. Of course, not every map can allow this, but you can just imagine came out spawn and die instantly. Yeah, no one had fun with that. In some game I play, some of them know how to use their brain, so they can do this. The second thing is utility, and I'm here to say that 3 slot utility is just too much. Imagine a player connect with the movement, high damage, survivability. What will happen? Yeah, if the guy in the previous clip translates to slash regen, which can heal instantly and give to people, it will be a nightmare 1C in position. Luckily, he didn't. So, imagine a good player with a good mindset can combine some of the utility and make the game extremely frustrating to fight. The player can equip the mobility, defense, and damage ability. And if you met a really skilled player and get used to that, there's no more fun, it's just frustrating. So I think that they should reduce 3 slots into 2 slots, basically make the player choosing defense or offense. And if you wonder why there's no upside, just because I don't see many. The only thing I see is a good thing is a headshot give you more reward, which is fair enough. Beyond that, the most positive are pretty basic, so I'm not really saying anything about it. So yeah, that's everything for me. Everything I talk here is just my theory, prediction, and speculation. None of this has been confirmed by them, so don't take it seriously. It's just my perspective as a player. Anyway, thanks for watching.